Hello everyone, my name is Abdurrahman Gilal, and in this video I'll be explaining you generics in Java. But before I explain generics in Java, I'm explaining you some example that I have written so that I can better explain to you that where exactly do we need to use such kind of things. So I have created a class that is called integer box class, and that class basically receives some values, and that is its constructor, and that sets the value. So I have two methods. One is called get value, and the other one is a set value in order to assign some values to it. So the first thing is that, for instance, if you wanted to make and use this class, then what you do is that you simply you simply make its object, and then you get the value, and then you see the value. So let's run it and see if it works fine. So yes, we passed the 10 as value. So now we pass 120 as the value. So it comes up like this. What if now we do not want to pass the integer value and we wanted to pass the string value? What are we gonna do in here? So effective way is that, let's say, in this available option, that now we are only dealing with integer. If we change any value in here, it's not gonna help us to change but then that program will not be, this class will not be available for, for this class, for integer. So now in order to use the same thing for strings, I'm gonna here put this like str box. So I'm gonna create here str box. So instead of receiving str, I'm receiving strings, and then, okay, so basically, yep. And here also we are receiving a string, and then we pass the value to it. So where is the value? Where exactly? Yep, this one is also a string. So everything is a string now. Do we have all set? So hope it's everything is fine. And then now we are going to make a call here. So what we do is the same thing. Now here we create a box for a string now. So what we do is that we create here str box. Yep. And then we write str box as a name of our object, and then we put this, and then what value are you going to put? This is just testing. Okay, so we now can print out. So let's say the call of str box. So as soon as we do that, and then we call this str box dot. So we basically receive get value, and then we run this. So looks fine. Okay, what's the error? Definitely that's an error. We have to convert it into a string. Yeah. So let's run it and then test it. So, okay, that's pretty fine that it's available. How about if now we have to change it for double, long, float, Boolean. So we have to create so many classes. That's gonna be a very big problem here. This is why we need something to handle everything in a generic way. So now I'm gonna consider the same example by converting it into generic. So generic means that we declare one type of program, or we make a one class, and we convert it, like we use it in any way that we want to use. So basically, the generics can be applied over classes, interfaces, methods, any way you want to use. So basically that allow you to have a flexibility and reusability over the different data types. So you make one class or one method, and whatever type of data you wanted to store, you can store in it. So you wanted to use, you can use it. So basically they are only good with different types of data, like this type of example that we have integer or string or float or this and that. So we make one class and we can use it as the way we want to use, number one. Number two, they are only good for collections, like when you have something that you have more than one implementation, like when you have more than one elements available or methods available. So that's where we use them. So let's convert this program into, instead of classes development, I'm gonna make the generic. So give me a second. I'm just gonna delete this class first. So that's done. So we do not need this. We will need this later. Let's see. So here we have to start playing from the beginning. We have to start playing the we no more needing uh, how to say, any integer box anymore. Now we are working on boxes because everything is going to be generic now. So as soon as you put this diamond operator, less than or greater than, in between, you can put any name here. It's up to you, but it's always good that you should use t for your type. So basically that's where you needed the type, and then you make it t. So that's once again your this is your type, so your class already knows that you have already declared this type of thing. So here you do not need any, how to say, integer, because now you're working on t type, so that's where you need t. You don't return any integer, you return t. And definitely here you don't pass any integer, you pass a t. So as soon as you do certain changes, for instance, you apply the diamond operator and then you pass it the t as your data type, which is the generic data type, and then you can use it any way you like to use, right? So as we use always integer, so it's perfectly fine. And now here's the twist. So let's see, first you were creating integer box, so now here you are creating no more box, oh sorry, no more integer box. Here you're creating integer. So you should remember that they are good for any type of data. So you have to give the data, but you cannot use primitive data types. You have to use wrappers. So if you wanted to use double, so you just keep the D capital and then use it double like this. If you want to work on a string, so you just do like this. If you want to work on integers, so you do like this. If you wanted to work on Boolean, you should have B as capital. So that's where you need. So now it's integer box. It's going to be the same. So here you once again have to tell like what exactly do you want to pass. So here, because we are no more working on the normal type of classes, so we have to use this diamond operator. And then you can put here, if you have an old compiler, you can put integer here. But if you're using a new compiler, Java and above, Java 8 and above, so you do not have to put integer here anymore. It automatically takes this integer, and then you pass the value. Excuse me. And then you do not have to do much, and then that's it. And then the same thing goes for the box that we are working on, the string. So now I'm going to say string, and then this is string box. So once again, the same thing here. So that's it. And then there you go. So let's run. So we have now one class, but we made two different objects using different types of, wrapping classes. Let's see, let's run it. Perfectly fine. It has the same output. We did not change much in here. Only a thing that we have done is that we passed a generic data type that was basically holding it here. And then it basically does the same thing that we have done. So now if you wanted to go and make another data, another box that is for, let's say, for the double, so you should simply write double here, and you cannot pass here the double if you don't. If you put 12, it's also an error because here double is not, how to say, double is not, you know make dbl. So double is not 12, double has to be double, right? So you have to pass the double value here. So double. So once again, I say, like, if you change it to integer, it's gonna create an error for you. So you have to pass a double, even if you like or not, you have to do like that way. So now here you do the same thing, and then you see we did not extend one more class, or we did not implement any other class, but we just simply make an object, and this is pretty straightforward. So I hope it makes some sense. If you got any confusion, please do not hesitate to drop me the comment.